Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Spirit led me to make this video, and I really want to push this message forward. And actually, we'll just go ahead and get two birds with one stone here, because this is a question that was asked on the support group. And that question was, what happens long term after you go no contact from the narcissist? All right. So I'm going to talk about that. Based off of the main point that I wanted to make, and I'm going to sprinkle some other points in here as well. But the main point that I really want to make to you guys is when you go no contact from that narcissist, and even if you're not directly communicating with them, chances are they are watching you from a distance. You might think, you know what, things are quiet, we're not communicating anymore, maybe we can just all move on with our lives. Maybe they're finally keeping my name out of their mouth. It doesn't seem like they're stalking me anymore. And the word seem is very important in that statement. But oftentimes, especially if you were a primary source to them, especially if you caused narcissistic injury, especially if that relationship, that final disregard was nasty and ugly, okay? They are very resentful. They are very bitter, and it eats them up if they don't feel like they got back at you. They are watching you from a distance. They want to see you fall on your face. They're already wishing ill will and negativity onto your life. They're just filled with so much toxicity. They have to hate. They have to hate on someone. So best believe, even if they're not directly talking to you, because they can be very passive aggressive. They'll talk about you all day long without using your name. This is what they'll do. This is what they'll do. They have nothing else going on in their life but to focus on you. It's like you give them a life. Unfortunately for them, though. Unfortunately for them, this is how they choose to spend their time. Talking about you all day long, thinking about you all day long, like just wasting their life away on a supply that they don't even have because they're bitter about it. They have not let go. They have not, moved past. They certainly don't have forgiveness, and they have a one-track mind. And it's all about supply. And if they haven't adequately replaced you, they're going to be thinking about you. They're going to be regretting not having you anymore. So what's happening long term? They're looking at you. Even when you think they are not looking, they are still looking. Even when you block the profile of theirs that trust me, they have others. They're watching your profile from other profiles. They're still running their mouth, even if they're just talking to themselves about you out of their craziness, or if they are still smearing your name with the primary source that they have now, which can't be as good, which can't be satisfying them because they're still stuck on you. They're still running their mouth about you. They have not moved on, and they certainly have not let go. So long term, they are still watching you. Trust and believe they are still watching. And, watching you just out of their nosiness, of course. Like I said, they want to see you fall on your face, but they may be trying to gauge they want to know if you're still thinking about them. They want to figure out when they can hoover. They're trying to keep tabs to see what's going on in your life because they're not focused on their own life. I've seen narcissists make a full-time job off of just running smear campaigns, especially the older ones who are not working or who didn't have a successful life anyway, who ain't about nothing. They have nothing else to do but to sit on their behind and spill out all this toxicity. So they're still watching, chances are. What else could be happening is they may not be giving that much energy, but they just periodically checking in to see. Because once they make you that supply, they always have that entitlement to you, even when it didn't work out the way that they wanted. You're the one that got away. But I want you guys to know that they are always still watching. They are always still watching, even if they put on Facebook that they're so happy, on social media that they're so happy in a new relationship. If you could be a fly on the wall, you'll probably find out, they're not the happiness that they claim to be, okay? Because they're internally miserable to begin with. They're internally unfulfilled. They're internally off balance. So this person isn't happy no matter what they say. But actions speak louder than words as well. Sometimes, you will see evidence because they're still talking about you. You find out, through a third party that they're still talking about you. They just can't keep your name out of their mouth. They're creating all these fake profiles. They're trying to interact with you. You might be surprised to find out that you have actually been interacting with the narcissist on social media through a catfish profile that you don't know is them. And then sometimes they want to reveal themselves and they'll say something. And if you're connected to your discernment, you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is something such and such would say. And then you go look on the profile a little closer and like, look, who do I even know this person? Who is this? It's probably them. Block them. Follow your discernment and block them. But long term, what you're going to see with a narcissist after you discard them is they will continue to have failed relationships. Or, if they're in the one relationship long term, it will go through many cycles of abuse. They're not going to broadcast it. They're not going to broadcast it. They're going to make things look a certain way, of course. And that's their ego and their image, as they are very image focused. So all you will see is them doing the cycle of abuse with other people. They don't change for the better. If anything, they get more miserable. And what you'll see long term, or at least this is what I've really observed through close observation, as the years go by, they're losing any shine. This fake little shine that they had to be able to draw in new supply, they're losing it. And because they're so toxic on the inside, that's stress inside of them. That's toxicity inside of them. And it's going to begin to outwardly, affect their outward appearances. So maybe you might have met this narcissist when you guys were younger in age, but as the years go by, you've done the work and you've healed yourself and you've gotten your glow back and you're doing better, but they're just continuing to add more toxicity, add more negativity, bring more negative karma into their life. So you might see them start looking worn down. They might look crazy, they might start looking off. And when you see them, you might not even recognize them because life is real like that. You can't, have a life full of chaos and drama and, think that you're going to be waking up glowing. No, all that stress and stuff, they're going to be getting the bags under their eyes, not taking care of themselves. And they're reckless anyway, a lot of times. Maybe the somatic narcissist may not appear to be reckless in their youth as they're doing the plastic surgery, being that gym rat, but they're reckless, sleeping with people unprotected. They're going to catch something one day that will not be curable for them. Their health, they're very shallow with how they're taking care of themselves. I've heard of people dating trainers. They self-proclaim health gurus and stuff, and then they were secretly eating Dunkin' Donuts and stuff behind the scenes while judging other people for doing it. Eventually this stuff catches up, and people see what the truth is. Mm-hmm. But long term with them, they just, they start to look like the insides. It starts to match their outside. All right. But the main thing that I want you to take away from this is they're looking. They're looking even when you think they're not. So never let your guard down. They're like permanent stalkers. Permanent stalkers. And you might think, finally, they're quiet. Finally, they stop calling and messaging me. Finally, they're not showing up on my doorstep. Finally, they're not sending crazy letters to my home to try to sabotage my new relationships. And, they're not, I've heard of narcissists sending nudes to people's jobs. doing all types of things to try to get back at a supply for leaving them, But they don't get better. They get sicker because all that toxicity is just piling up, like I said, inside of them, and it has to go somewhere. It's spilling out in their behaviors, and it will start spilling out in their physical appearance. Stress kills. Stress kills. And when they're not letting go, when they're not releasing, when they still can't keep people's names out of their mouth, they just can't move on and let go. It's like beating a dead horse. A dead horse, because you're gone and you guys are moving forward and you're going to be better. You don't have to keep looking back. Let life deal with them. Let karma get them. Just take care of your safety, of course, and take the lessons with you. But trust and believe they're going to be doing the same thing with a new face and a new name. That's what they're going to be doing. That is what they're going to be doing. You're not missing anything. It's kind of like if I lived in a city and people just like to hang out on a stoop. The stoop is like the steps to the corner store, steps in front of a house. And that's what their life is about. It's not about progression. It's not about elevation. It's not about advancement. It's not about improvement. It's not about any of that. They don't want to change. So they're going to stay the same. And they're going to stay behind. They're going to get left behind. You, on the other hand, you're moving on to bigger and better things. Thank God that you got out of that toxic relationships. And like I said, just take your lessons. And thank God that that's over with. All right? So I hope that this answers that survivor's question about long-term. You might find their health deteriorating. A lot of times the narcissists, they become sick. Because like I said, stress kills. Stress really does kill. And they have all that toxicity. You might find that they're falling ill. A lot of times they get ill. They get dementia and stuff. They get illnesses. All right? They get sick. They end up getting sick. They end up dying alone. They lose their mind. Their brains are very unhealthy to begin with, but, as we get older, it increases for them. They lose their mind. All because they never wanted to face themselves. All because they just couldn't let go. All because they didn't want to balance out. They didn't want to take accountability and just move on with their life and find healing, change, become better, work on themselves. So it's not good for them in the end. It is not good for them in the end. Either way you look at it, it's not good. All right, guys. So I hope that this answers that survivor in the support group. And I just really, Spirit wanted me to just say, be careful. Even when you think they are not looking, they are watching. They are stalking. It becomes their full-time jobs, like fatal attraction. And you may not even know about it, but they are doing it. Okay. So please take heed. Never really let your guard down. This doesn't mean live your life in fear. It doesn't mean that you always have to look over your shoulders. But I made my trust 1 and 2 videos. Don't put anything past them. Know that they are always scheming and manipulating. And they're in the background lurking and waiting, because that dark energy, they're a vessel for it. And they want to take your light. They didn't get to do it. You got away. Trust me. They're waiting for another opportunity. All right. But you're never going to give it to them. No one on my channel. We're not about that. We're moving forward. All right. We're progressing. That's why my channel is called Reflection and Progression. We're reflecting to progress. All right, guys. All right. So if this video resonates with you, go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Over 400 videos here to help you on your journey. Take what you can. All right, guys. Continue to do the work. Any information about setting up coaching, my support group, all that is below. Just go ahead and read the descriptions. All right. And until next time, guys, please take care.